Hey y'all, Ray here. I just thought I'd hop on and share some thoughts that I've been having. I haven't really made that many videos. The videos that I have made, I've been talking a lot about the planning and, what we're doing and the theory behind it, the ideas behind it. I was reflecting on that and thinking that maybe I've given the impression that this is something easy, that being a surrogate and having a baby that someone else is going to raise is easy. And I just need to make sure everyone knows that it's not. I feel incredible and grateful that I was able to do this, and I feel very much like this is sort of a calling of mine, that I have wanted to do this for years. It's a really beautiful thing. And it's also not easy. It's really, really hard. What's not on video is all the times that I've cried, and the times that I've been sad, and the times that I have been overwhelmed by emotions. And that's just not there, but it's real. I want to make sure that this channel is an authentic place where you can get a real picture of the journey and a real understanding of what surrogacy is and can be. I said before that this isn't easy, and what I also want to add to that is that I can do hard things, and I want to challenge myself. Challenging situations, it's personal growth. I think that it's worth it. Pregnancy, even though I like being pregnant for the most part, I had a lot of challenges this time. There were things that happened that did not happen with my last pregnancies. I had migraines, I was throwing up all day for like a week. Well, that never had happened to me before. It could be that I had remembered my pregnancies differently, because one of them was 6 years ago, one of them was 4 years ago, and that's a lot of time in between. And you forget. Sometimes we we remember the best parts about things, and we forget about the hard parts. So I just really want to make sure that everyone knows that I'm definitely not saying on this channel that like everybody should do this or people should be surrogates or anything like that. I think it's something that requires a certain perspective and a certain amount of healing and working with attachment in a healthy way. I think part of this for me is understanding attachment and how that works. That's been kind of a big question for me in my life. And when I have a question, I am the type of person who I need to actually experience it. I can't understand something really fully unless I experiment with it in my life. So when I started thinking about attachment and what is healthy attachment and what is love and all of these things, these are huge questions, and I needed to know for myself. I needed to experience it. So now I'm sitting here in a mostly empty house because Air and the baby and the family went home to Chicago, and I'm here. And my kids are not with me at the moment. They're with their dad. So I've had a lot of time to think. And there's a lot of things that have come up for me. A lot of questions. A lot of questions like, are my kids going to resent me for this because they wanted to have a little sibling growing up with them in their house? Is Emery going to resent me for this because they're gonna be like, why weren't you there for me as my mom and like, taking care of me? And I'm questioning the role of mother and what does that mean? And there's plenty of people in the world who, for whatever reason, were separated from their mother, and mothers who, for whatever reason, were separated from their babies. In all of the examples I can think of, it wasn't their choice. So for me, part of this is about choice. I chose to do this because I'm not in a place in my life right now where I can raise a baby. When I had Rowan and Addie, I was in a place where I could be a stay-at-home mom. I was financially supported. I started a home daycare. It worked out really well. And then as soon as Rowan and Addie were old enough to go to school, then I saw that as my opportunity to go back to school, which was my career path before. So, I'm working in a school now, and I can't bring a baby to work with me. If I was going to raise a baby, I would need to have a different career. I would either need to open a home daycare again or go back into nannying, or I'd have to have a partner who can financially support both of us while I stay home. And that's just none of those things are where I'm at right now. I took this opportunity as a time in my life where I could give this amazing gift to someone. And I think it just kind of hit me like how big this thing that I did is. I think up until this point, it was an idea. It was something that I was embarking on. It was a journey, and now, Emery has been in the world for 2 weeks. It took some time for it to sink in, like this is real, like we made a baby, and the baby's going home with Air, and Air's going to raise the baby. And I'm thinking, wow, like I did this thing that is like so huge. And I was a little bit like in awe of myself. Like I did that, you know? It was a little overwhelming to think about. And I'm like, wow, okay. So now I'm thinking, well, okay, I'm not the primary caregiver of Emery. That's not my role in their life. My role is to be determined ultimately. It's really going to be up to Emery as Emery grows, how much Emery wants me to be involved and what they need from me. And I'm here for it, I am open to whatever. My midwife came to check on me today and asked me, so when Emery comes to visit for Thanksgiving, are you going to nurse them? And I said, I don't know. Like, if I hold them and they try to nurse, then sure. We'll see if they still know how. I know babies forget how to nurse if they don't do it for a while, but maybe they'll remember, maybe they'll nurse, but it's going to be up to Emery, I mean, that's kind of been Air and I's philosophy this whole time, is like Emery's gender is up to Emery, and what kind of relationship Emery wants to have with me is up to Emery. We are going to do our part to like keep the connection and keep in touch and make sure that I'm, seeing Emery so Emery knows who I am and who their siblings are. I honestly don't know what the future holds. I mean, for all I know, we could all end up living in the same town or the same area at some point and seeing each other more often. Emery is family, and now Air and Air's family are family. And I think it's so beautiful that like our family just expanded so much and we have this bond now. It doesn't go away. It's going to be there forever. I just want to make sure, because I've been talking on this channel about surrogacy and all these things, and I think um, for the most part, I've been focusing on the good things and the positive things and all of that. And I just wanted to kind of take a moment to talk about my fears and the things that could be troubling, and that it's not mostly that it's not easy, you know. A few days ago, there's a tiny little baby here, and I was holding them and nursing them, and it was so lovely, and now they're gone. And it's okay. It's okay. And I'm okay. And I miss them. And it is hard. And that's okay too. Life is about moving through and feeling all the feelings. And yeah. I also want to acknowledge and thank everybody who has been part of this journey and who has supported me, like cheered me on, made it possible for this to be a reality, because I know this is so cliche, but like it takes a village. It really does. And I feel very supported by my community. Whether you are like supporting me in like a real tangible way, or even just your comments and your support online, all of it really helps. So thank you for everything.